Hey, kindergartners, it's time for another great lesson in science. Today we are going to talk about the life cycle of a butterfly. But before we get any deeper into the lesson, I just want to know what you know about butterflies. What is one thing you can tell me about a butterfly? Great, they can fly. What else do you know about butterflies? They have wings. What's one other thing that you know about butterflies? Great, great. You see them on the leaves. So, boys and girls, what is one thing that you would like to find out about butterflies that you don't yet know? Good. What they eat. Okay. What else? If they're all the same color. Okay. Great. So far, what we've done, we have filled in the K section and the W section of our KWL chart. And that's what we know and what we want to know. So today we are going to work on learning some more about the butterfly. I have a great book that I would like to share with you today. And this book is called A Butterfly is Born. Now, I want you to find a nice, comfortable spot and listen as I read. And as we go along, we are going to learn more about the life cycle of the butterfly. Now, this is a nonfiction book. This is the title of the book, and it says A Butterfly is Born. And this book is written by Melvin Berger. Now, if you look right here on the first part of the cover, I'm going to come in so you can see it. Now you will see it says table of contents. And the table of contents tells us where to find information in the book. Let's read together. Butterflies are beautiful insects. They fly from flower to flower, drinking nectar with their long tongues. If you come up close right there, you can see a butterfly getting down into the flower just so it can get some of the nectar. So that's what a butterfly would eat. But a butterfly doesn't always look this way. A butterfly begins life as a tiny egg. The egg hatches in a few days. Out comes a caterpillar. Now, if you look very closely, right there, you will see the caterpillar is hatching out of the egg. The young caterpillar is very hungry. It eats its eggshell. So that's the first thing that the caterpillar eats. If you look right there, you'll see that the caterpillar is starting to eat the shell that it just came out of. Then it starts to eat leaves. It eats many, many leaves. The caterpillar eats and grows, eats and grows. Look how big this caterpillar has grown. Now he started out a little tiny caterpillar right there, and now he has grown up, and look how big he has become. So as the caterpillar eats leaves, the caterpillar continues to grow. Now the caterpillar is ready to change. It hangs from a branch. So it attaches, that's the branch going right there, and here's the caterpillar attaching itself to the branch. Slowly the caterpillar turns into a pupa. So see, the caterpillar is changing. It doesn't look the same all the time. It forms a hard shell. So see, that's the skin of the caterpillar, and now it's changing. And here you see that it's now a hard shell that is hanging on the branch. From outside, the pupa looks very still, but inside, much is going on. Can you see what is happening to the pupa? I want you to take a close look. See, on this side, it's all white, and then when we get over here, we can see that if you take a close look, you can see the wings of the butterfly starting to grow. Now, after some time, out comes a butterfly. So here is the butterfly just breaking open that chrysalis that it was locked up in and growing, and now it's getting its wings and it's getting ready to fly. Now the butterfly's wings are wet and crumpled, but in a few hours they dry and fill out. So when the butterfly was born, the wings are all curled up and wet, and now the butterfly's wings are strong and the butterfly can fly. Where do you think this butterfly is going? So where do you think it's going to go? That's what we're going to talk about today. Wow, boys and girls, we just learned so much from our book about the life cycle of a butterfly. So we are going to keep right along with our learning, and we're going to look closer at the life cycle of the butterfly. Now we looked at the KWL chart, and when we looked at that chart, we said that we already know that butterflies can fly. We know that they have wings. We see them on leaves. And we would like to know what butterflies eat, if they're all the same color. So those are some of the questions that you asked. If butterflies are the same color and what they eat. So we're going to find out those things as we go along. We read this book and we've learned a lot. So let's see what our goal is for today. Our learning target for today says, I will identify and describe the stages in the life cycle of a butterfly. How will I know when I'm successful today? Our success criteria for today says, I can put life cycle cards in the right order. I can tell a friend what happens next in the life cycle of a butterfly. So by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to identify those stages in the life cycle of the butterfly, and you will be able to put the picture cards that show each stage in the correct order. Then you will be able to tell a friend about it. So let's move along. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a big word, but don't be scared of using words. Just try to understand what those words mean. Now, metamorphosis means change. Butterflies change as they go through life. This change is called metamorphosis. A butterfly looks very different as it goes through the 4 stages of its life cycle. Today, we are going to look at how the butterfly changes, how it transforms, and as it goes through life. The first stage in the life of the butterfly is the egg. The adult or the mama butterfly lays eggs on a leaf that it likes to eat. Now, the eggs could be shaped like chicken eggs, or they could be shaped like cylinders, like kind of like a can, or they could be round. Each egg will hatch into a larva or a caterpillar. So it doesn't matter what shape the egg is. Once they hatch, they are going to become larva or caterpillar. That brings us to stage 2, or the second stage in the life cycle of the butterfly, which is the larva or the caterpillar. Now, the caterpillar hatches out of the egg, and caterpillars can be hairy, they can be smooth. When it hatches out, it looks like a tiny worm. The caterpillar, from the moment it comes out the egg, it starts to eat. First, it eats the shell of the egg. So it would munch, munch, munch on that eggshell. When that is all eaten up, then the caterpillar begins to eat the leaf on which the egg was laid on. As it eats, it gets bigger and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Then the skin gets too tight because that big caterpillar is now like wrapped up in a tiny outer skeleton or skin, and it gets too tight. So what happens? It grows a new skin under the old one. And once that new skin is in place, then the old one pops off and the caterpillar leaves it behind, and it goes about its business eating and eating again, and then it gets bigger and bigger again, and it does the same thing a few times. Now, when the caterpillar is bursting out of that old skin and growing a new bigger skin, that process is called molting. In the third stage of the life cycle of the butterfly, the chrysalis is formed. Now the caterpillar, once it's reached that stage where it's full and it's not going to get any bigger, it attaches itself to a leaf or a stem or a branch, something that is sturdy that can hold it up, and it hangs upside down. It stays there for a while and it will seem as if nothing is happening to it. But on the inside, the pupa keeps growing and changing into a butterfly. Now that hard skin that covers it over is called the chrysalis. And inside that chrysalis is the pupa, which keeps growing and changing. In stage 4 of the life cycle of a butterfly is the adult stage. Now, during this stage, the butterfly comes out of the chrysalis. Its wings are crumpled up and soft. So the butterfly just begins to pump its wings. It just keeps pumping its wings, and then the wings become full of fluid. And as they fill up, they get bigger and they get harder and stronger. Now, as the wings get big and strong, then the butterfly is ready to fly away. This little butterfly grows a little bit more and becomes an adult butterfly, and it is ready to lay eggs and start the cycle all over again. So we're back to the eggs. Caterpillar. Now, if you look at this picture, you will see how that caterpillar goes through the stages. It starts here and it hangs itself on the stem. Then if you look right here, you see that chrysalis starting to form right there. more and more the chrysalis grows, that shell keeps getting bigger, and this right here is the outside skin of the caterpillar until we get over here. And when we get here, you notice that the skin is just crumpled up right there in the ball, and the chrysalis, the whole chrysalis is formed. That skin would fall down and the chrysalis will stay attached to the branch for a few weeks. But remember I told you, even though it looks like nothing is happening in this chrysalis, inside the chrysalis, something is taking place. Now, see there, if you look carefully right on this spot right there, what do you see, boys and girls? That's right, that's right. That's the wing of the butterfly. So that butterfly is growing inside the chrysalis. Now you can see how it grows. It starts right here. It goes all the way over until you can see that butterfly getting ready to come out of the chrysalis. And here you go, boys and girls. Here is the butterfly that was all folded up in the chrysalis, ready to fly off. He's going to grow up. Now, I told you that caterpillars are not the same. Different butterflies have different caterpillars. Some caterpillars have a lot of hair on them. Look at this one, has a lot of hair. This one is black and hairy. Now, these are very tiny caterpillar and they bunch together. See, they're all on top of each other and they have hair. But look at this one. This one is bright and colorful and smooth. This one has stripes on it. This one also has some stripes and like spikes on its back. So caterpillars are different. Caterpillars are different because they grow into different kinds of butterflies. Now here are some butterflies. Butterflies, someone asked, are all butterflies the same color? No, they're not, because if you look here, you will see that some are blue, some are orange, some have lots of colors on them. Now, I want you to take a close look at this one. If you see this one in nature, it looks almost like a bird, but it's not a bird, it's a butterfly. So butterflies come in all different colors and all different sizes. Some of them are big and some are small. Now, have you ever seen anything else that looks like a butterfly? That's right. You see some butterflies that they look brown, but they're not very colorful. Well, those aren't really butterflies. Those are moths, and they usually come out at night. But they're related to the butterfly. They're in the same family. Now, here is your chrysalis changing over. Great. So, now that we've gone over and looked at the life cycle of the butterfly, let's take a look at those stages again. Now, if you look up here on my chart, it says life cycle of a butterfly. Butterflies begin life as eggs. The eggs hatch and become a caterpillar. The caterpillar grows, it eats a lot as it grows, and it develops. Then the caterpillar changes and becomes a chrysalis, and it stays in that stage of the chrysalis. Once it hatches out, it's a tiny butterfly which grows up and becomes an adult butterfly which lays eggs, and the cycle starts again. Egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly. Now, there is a song that I like to sing that helps me to remember the life cycle of the butterfly. I'm going to sing it and I want you to join in with me. Are you guys ready to sing along? All right, let's go. First comes a pretty butterfly, flapping her wings and flying high. Oh, 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 look and see, the butterfly goes from tree to tree, laying her eggs where no one sees. That's what butterflies do, you see. Oh, 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 look carefully. The eggs have hatched. Now what do you see? Out comes a caterpillar with many legs, crunching, munching, eating all day. Oh, 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 look carefully. The caterpillar spins and weaves, making a chrysalis in which to sleep. All that spinning made him weak. Oh, 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 look carefully. The chrysalis is hatched now. What do you see? Out comes a pretty butterfly, flapping her wings and flying high. So I'm going to put the words for that song in your packet this week. So I want you to take some time and I want you to sing along. And as you sing along, I want you to remember the stages of the butterfly. First stage says is the eggs. So the adult lays the eggs, then the eggs hatch. That's right. The eggs hatch. And what comes out from the egg when it hatches? A caterpillar. The caterpillar comes out and he eats and eats and eats. And then what happens? He becomes the chrysalis. And what comes next? After the chrysalis comes the butterfly, and the cycle gets started all over again. So first is the butterfly who lays the eggs hatch and become the caterpillar. The caterpillar grows and spins into a chrysalis. Excuse me. The chrysalis hatches, and out comes a butterfly and starts the cycle all over again. So there, boys and girls, is excuse me, the life cycle of a butterfly.